run the Women's Football League, there is WSL 1, WSL 2, and you guys are part of the Premier League 1 Southern Division?
Yes.
Okay. So it's done regionally. Will you explain to me a little bit more about the division?
So WSL 1 and WSL 2 are national, so they include both regions, Southern and Northern, in one league. But our league, the Premier League, is split into Northern and Southern. Okay. Just because no one wants to do that journey up north. Onto Blackburn away, really, do they? But no, it's just split into two, so Southern and Northern, just to make it a little bit more competitive, I think, just to include more teams within that one league. And
go on.
We do get to play each other at one point. If you win the Southern Division and you win the Northern Division, then there's a playoff into the WSL, and that's when you can play against each other. So it's a bit like North versus South derby. Okay.
Now, which one of you was at Chelsea?
This one.
That was me.
Ah, okay. So talk to us about that first.
Yeah, I was there for 11 years throughout the youth system, so from under 10s to reserves, which acts as like an under 21s, under 23s squad. But I felt it was my time to get regular first team football, so then that was when I made the move across to QPR this season to get regular 90 minutes, which I've thoroughly enjoyed being with the squad, and I think it's done me the world of good.
Okay, so it's been a tough season so far. Yeah. Talk us through what's been happening.
Yeah, we've had quite a lot of injuries. It's difficult when you put a new team together, because we had about 8 players, I think, left last season to play in the WSL. Okay. So we had to sort of try and recruit more people to try and fill those gaps. So we're still in that process of recruiting and getting people fit, and we're still waiting for a few key players to come back from injury as well. So it's been quite tough. It's been quite tough for quite a few teams, I think, in our division. Like some teams have struggled quite a lot. We've only played a few games, so we've got a long way to go still.
We've only played 3 league games.
Okay, so will your season change? So WSL 1 and 2 will change to the
winter season.
The winter season, the same as guys, but yours won't.
No, because we've always been a winter season.
Oh, okay.
So WSL 1 and WSL 2 moved for a summer season to make it more competitive when gathering fans, because we found that if the women's season was running alongside the men's, we found it hard to gather fans to come to the games. But when it moved to the summer season, that's what boosted the base up, really. And now that WSL 1 and WSL 2 have got that, the fan basis. Yep, got that.
All band faces.
Band faces. That they now can move back to a winter season. Okay. Because it's better for internationals as well, because it doesn't work alongside international the summer season. So some players go through a whole 12 months of playing football, which is
with no
hard,
break.
With no break, which is hard. So I think they're doing that just to ease the pressure off a bit.
So what's the difference between Chelsea and QPR? I know obviously you're getting the full 90 minutes then. It must be an all fresh new experience. As you said, the team's just come together. So what's been the main differences for you?
I just think with Chelsea there is such a huge pressure, as they are one of the best teams in Europe. So it's hard to get in the squad because you've got Ballon d'Or nominations playing within that squad, like Yuki Agimi. She was playing in the squad a couple of years ago, and she's such an amazing player, and to work alongside her was insane. It's just that there's that bit of quality because there is a little bit more money within Chelsea. Chelsea are able to gather those players, really, and it's just about experience as well. And QPR sound like QPR like a fresh baby side compared to Chelsea, I'd say. So
you get to play with me, which is the most important.
That was obviously why she made the move.
Yeah, right? I made it because of you. I needed that.
Okay, so you've got Cardiff tomorrow. Yeah. So we are grateful that you've come on the sofa today. What is the game going to present tomorrow? Is it going to be a tough game? What are Cardiff like?
Cardiff are a mid-table side, so it's going to be a good game. We've got quite a few players back from injury now, so we think we're going to be able to compete a lot, which is going to be good. So I'm really looking forward to playing in the game.
They're pretty strong team, physically strong as well, so that'll be a nice battle. Yeah. We love those.
Yeah, we do. Especially with me playing in the middle, it's quite fun.
Yeah. Now, we have loads of Twitter polls that run here at FANTV alongside us all the time, which means that you can join in. So we have McElroy and Peters pairing has helped cut the USA. See, I can't talk today either, so don't worry.
There we go, it's fine.
USA lead in the Ryder Cup. Speaking of duos, what's been your best CB pairing in the Premier League? Is it Velic and Fernando, Terry and Calvaro? Is it Adams and Kuhn? Is it Carragher and Hipper? Is that how I've said that right? Yeah, Hippia. There you go. That's better, isn't it? Okay, so let us know at FANTV UK. If you want to tweet us in, let us know what's been your best pairing. Guys, what do you reckon? What are your best pairings?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm obviously going to say Adams and Keown because I'm an Arsenal fan.
Ah, you see, yeah, fair enough. Fair
See,
enough.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Chelsea
so
fan, you've got to say
Terry and
basically.
Carvalho, and Terry's one of my all-time favourite players anyway. I think he's amazing, so...
Where do you guys play, position-wise?
Good question.
I'm a number 10.
Okay, and who was the phantom goalkeeper last? Okay, so talk us through the story. So the goalkeeper got stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it was a sunny, warm day in Candy Islands.
Setting the ceiling.
Yeah, it was really, really good. On a coach to the game, and our goalkeeper, one of the major roads was closed. She got completely stuck. And we couldn't delay the kickoff by too much because obviously it's not always possible. And so our assistant manager was like, guys, we've got a problem. We need someone to go and goal for a bit. And so I did actually used to be a goalkeeper.
Okay.
Because like many girls that play football.
Okay.
Yeah, in a formal life. Where many girls that play football, when you play at school, you're like, I want to play with the boys. And then they're like, oh, great, go and goal.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So I got my experience there.
Okay.
Didn't tell them that was quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like a really long time ago. So I put my gloves on, I felt really good, then I started doing the warm-up and I thought, oh, this is a terrible idea. But I actually made quite a few saves, I'm quite proud of myself. Some really unorthodox saves.
Okay, good.
Like gathering the ball and sort of like lying like this, rather than smothering it and trying to remember all my shapes.
So this maybe is not a future endeavour, just maybe.
I don't think so. Actually, I hurt my shoulder doing that and it still hurts. It still hurts.
I like it. Not only did you hurt your shoulder, make unorthodox change. It's not something you're going to step into.
There's a great photo of me with the goal, with the ball going in the goal. I didn't realise the striker was there, and she sort of headed it past me, and I'm sort of looking really terrified.
It's one of the best photos I think I've ever seen with Hayley.
Yeah, it's really good.
Good work. Good work. But normally,
fullback or winger. Played winger for most of my life, but I've been thinking about being more of a fullback. Modern fullback's quite attacking. I like tackling, so I've been sort of testing that out. So
okay.
But I've been playing at centre back as well for quite a bit, which is there's never been a position I've really figured.
Should we just scrap my question and say play everywhere?
And there's goal as well now. So versatile. That's a good one.
Versatile.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't think I'd be very good in Lawrence's position actually. I think I'd be terrible in the middle.
Well, number 10.
Yeah. I think I'm more like on the sides of the field.
Did you play number 10 at Chelsea then?
No, I didn't. I also played fullback or left wing.
Really?
Yeah. So it's really this season that QPR thought I'd be best at number 10. So.
Okay, in terms of the women's game, I know you've just mentioned that John Terry is one of your idols. In terms of players, for you, who's your idol, male or female?
Thierry Henry.
Okay,
good.
Yeah.
I just think he's so calm on the ball and everything looks effortless. It's just going to be such a biased answer to Dennis Bergkamp.
Okay, yeah.
In the women's game, Lucy Bond's amazing, but I think in terms of like a footballer and a person, I don't know her personally, but Claire Rafferty is, I think one of the major differences between the men's and the women's game is like women they tend to go to universities or like get scholarships to America and things like that, and to get their degrees. Claire Rafferty's working alongside being a footballer, and that's her ambition, is sort of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she really has that sort of professional drive, and I think that's really underplayed. I think in the women's game, that she's actually like really hardworking. Well, she comes across anyway. Her perception is she's super hardworking. She will do anything for football and also for professionally, which I think is amazing because you're playing football full time and you're also working
full time. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. Now, is John Terry your favourite just because you used to pay for the food at Chelsea? Is that?
Unfortunately, I missed that. I was too old. I missed it. I was too old. He only paid for like under 17 downwards, and that was the time I was in under 21. So he didn't
that why
pay.
he left? Done.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Yeah.
Just blame him. No. I've always been a Terry fan. He's always been such a good captain and a good leader. And when I was at Chelsea, he would always make that such a big effort to be involved in the women's game. He would always make his times come watch us and things like that. So it just makes a big influence when someone so big is willing to come watch you.
He's put a lot into the Chelsea days, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's put quite a lot of money in as well, which when Casey Stoney, he now plays for Arsenal, yeah. When she was at Chelsea, them two had quite a good pairing with funding Chelsea with the ladies, which was quite good, and he just works hard with the women's, and it just makes everything a little bit easier, and it motivates you a lot.
And hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. Okay, talk to me about last night. Could have gone better.
It was disappointing. 1-1. We wanted to win. We could have won, but at the end of the day, Crystal Palace they're a decent side, aren't they? They set up well, and we got what we deserved in the end. 1-1. Happy with that. And as the season's gone so far, positive start. 4 wins. 2 draws, 1 loss. Happy Evertonians.
I bet you are happy Evertonians at the moment. Now, Koeman has obviously worked magic down there, but something that we probably all didn't expect. Jagielka came alive last night.
It's quality, isn't he? You can't. Quality doesn't go away. You might get a little bit slower, but he's still got it.
You are a biased Everton fan, aren't you?
The most biased Evertonian.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, now a question for you. Do you think Ross Barkley is too young to be playing in the position that he's playing in?
No, this is his 4th year in the Premier League, so he knows what the Premier League's about now. He's an England international, he's a quality player, and it'll just take time for him to adapt to what Ronald Koeman wants him to do.
Ronald Koeman's certainly changed the fitness, hasn't he, at Everton? He changed a lot. What have you seen change within your team?
The intensity, that's certainly changed. A lot more forward going. Used to have this tippy-tappy type football in the past that a lot of clubs went for, but now it's all about getting the ball forward and trying to get the shots on goal, because at the end of the day, possession doesn't win football, goals do.
You were a very happy man today. I'm surprised. I would have thought that actually you'd have liked to win yesterday, but I suppose all the points count. Okay, talk to me about what happened with Delaney's header, because was he offside, wasn't he offside, who was offside? What were your thoughts on it?
There was 2 players in front of him. They were the ones who were offside.
Do you think that it was a shambles in terms of the referees?
Well, it's difficult for referees, isn't it? We're looking and we're judging. Even the day after, they've got to make a split-second decision. Listen, if it was an Everton goal that was disallowed, I would have been absolutely gutted, and it would have been a travesty.
Now, what about Jagielka's handball?
Was an handball.
Literally the most biased roundup we've ever had, ever. Now, Lukaku, who took a free kick, we didn't expect him to have that in his locker.
No. And you know, it was great because he was talking yesterday on Sky with Thierry Henry, and he was talking about how he's going to have to create chances for himself and make his own goals this season. So obviously that was him stepping up to the plate instead of just being the target man. He thought, why not have a go? And boom, he did. And what a goal it was. It was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? What
a goal it was indeed. But the wall didn't jump. What do you make of that?
You can't jump that quick, can you?
Literally, this is the best ever. Okay, brilliant. Now, Palace still were pretty impressive, and I think probably deserved all the points. To be honest, they were very, very strong in the first half. What did you make of Benteke's amazing header?
Perfect header, that, wasn't it, really? I mean, Stekelenburg, he had no chance. When you're a player like that and you get up and you placed it, and it had everything, didn't it? And you just have to clap it, don't you? You can't say anything other than that. It was a wonderful goal, so well done him.
Okay, now I believe that you are also a wonderment of information on the MLS, so supporting Toronto. You've only got 3 games left. Talk us through the season for Toronto then.
Well, Toronto, we joined MLS at the start of this season, and I never watched it, but I work late at night. I'm a comedian. We get in at 12 o'clock. So we decided to follow MLS, and it's been a great season for them. Toronto, the highest they've ever finished is 6th. Yet this season, with 3 games to go, they could actually top that league, and everyone's got everyone to play. It's going to be really exciting, and they're in the playoffs. It's going to be brilliant. Do you know anything about the MLS?
Well, we know bits and bobs here. We've actually got 2 of our lady footballers from QPR. So do you know anything about the ladies' game over there?
do you know, in Canada especially, it's so well supported, the Canadian national team. So if any of you girls have got any relatives that even just went to Vancouver on holiday, you could be eligible. What are you doing playing for QPR? To Toronto.
Oh, I think you might have upset them. I mean, QPR men's team, fair enough, but the QPR ladies, should we stop terrorising them about being QPR?
We're just much better, that's what it is.
Yeah, see, the QPR ladies, they reckon they're much better, and they can play all different positions. You didn't bank on that as well.
Everywhere.
I know, but where do you want to go for a holiday? Go to Toronto, girls. You get a game.
Literally brilliant. Okay, who have Everton got up next?
Everton have got up next. We've got Manchester City coming up, so that's going to be a tough test for Manchester City, isn't it? We'll see what they're about in a couple of weeks.
Honestly, realistically, that is going to be probably one of your most difficult games. Do you actually think you can... There's no way you can take a win, do you think?
Everything's possible, isn't it? You can't go to these stadiums and with a negative attitude. Manchester City, by far the best team in the Premier League, without a shadow of a doubt. Pep Guardiola's got them firing. They're a great side, but they're going to make stumbles. They're playing in Europe. Who knows? It could be our week that week. International break coming up, so everything to play for. Got to go there. It'll definitely be tough, but we beat them at Goodison Park at the end of last season in the EFL Cup, so who knows?
Who knows indeed. Well, actually, only 4 points behind them, which is a fantastic way to start your season. So you've moved up to third place. You were in second place. I mean, it is an unbelievable run for Everton at the moment. I can tell by the smile on your face. This is a dream start to the season for any Everton fan.
Well, it's certainly been positive, and don't forget, the media is great, aren't they? Because they're talking about Jurgen Klopp being this maestro, and he is a good manager, let's not kid ourselves, but Liverpool have been considered as, you know, potential champions, and then Everton are just cast aside, and I think we like that because we can be the underdogs, can't we? And then we'll just sneak up. We're ahead of Manchester United, all the money they've spent. What's going on there? So it's going really great for Everton. We've spent no money yet, have we? We sold John Stones for 50 million. We got Garner Guy, we got Balassi. We've still got change in our pocket for January. Going to be a big Christmas, isn't it?
I just need to check, is there anything that you've ever been unhappy about in your life ever yet?
Yeah, let me tell you, right, what happened this afternoon, I took my 8-year-old son out, my little Bradley, and we live in Wigan, right, so I went, and I should have got a shirt last night. I wanted an Everton shirt.
You said shirt, right, yeah?
Shirt,
Okay,
yeah. So we went into the store, sports store in Wigan, and I said to the guy, I held one up, they had an adult one.
Yeah.
And have you got this to fit an 8-year-old Everton shirt, blue? The guy actually went away, came back, said, no, mate, we haven't got none of these. We've got a Liverpool one. Is that any good? Is he having a laugh?
Did you just swear?
No, I said, is he having a laugh? I wouldn't swear.
Just check it. Well, you know what Liverpool does to you as a fan. Okay, so do you realistically think that you have got a top 4 finish in you?
We've got to believe that, haven't we? We really do. The way we're playing and the potential of the side says, yes, we have. Whether it turns out like that, reality is different, but it's positive. We've only lost once. And do you know what the great thing is about Ronald Koeman is? He's given everyone a go. He's not one of these managers that's come in and he's brought 10 players in. Everyone in the squad's getting a go. And then if he has to shuffle it around in January, then so be it. But it is positive, but other teams are going to have a positive start too. But it's all good at the moment, isn't it?
It is all good at the moment. Okay, a couple of final questions then. In the January transfer window, is there anyone that you'd like to see come into the Everton squad?
I'd like to see Zlatan Ibrahimovic come. I'd like to see Wayne Rooney come.
I don't think your loose change is going to cover those. So with your loose change, who have you got?
I think we potentially maybe a striker up
Did you
front.
say you want Wayne Rooney?
Oh, why not? We love Wayne Rooney, you know.
Do you want to run that by me?
Why? What do you mean?
Really, would you take Rooney in your squad right now?
Absolutely. Do you know what? Do you know the way the papers have been having a little thing at him saying, is he finished? I reckon if Wayne Rooney was Spanish, they'd have a statue of him outside Wembley. The games he's played for England, the trophies he's won, the goals he's scored, and he's a Scouser as well. If he was from Madrid, they'd be lording over him, wouldn't they? They wouldn't say he's finished, they'd be squeezing an extra game out of him.
I'm not sure anyone wants a statue of Wayne Rooney anywhere.
I was.
Bless him. Okay, and let's go for your score prediction against Manchester City. Come on, be
2-1
realistic. Okay.
What's your prediction? And I'll phone back in 2 weeks. Come on.
What's my prediction? 3-1 Man City. Girls, what's your prediction?
I'd say 3-4-1 Man City.
3-4-1. Okay. What do you think about a 4? See, I gave you 3-1. What do you think of 4-1?
4-1?
Yeah. Listen, I absolutely love what Everton are doing at the moment. It is absolutely spectacular, and there's no doubt Koeman has absolutely found his little place there at Everton, but I'm not sure they can take on the mighty Manchester City at the moment. But if you are right, we will make a little statue of you here. I don't know how. It'll be out of paper mache, but we will do it. We will catch up with you in a couple of weeks then and see what the score was. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been absolutely brilliant, Jamie.
See you soon.
Take
Bye.
care. Literally, seriously, taking all the happy juice in the whole world. Guys, what do you make of Everton this season? They've been pretty special.
Yeah. I've been really impressed with them. I think last season they were a bit not there, you know what I mean? They're just their usual Everton self within the mid-table. But I think they've really picked themselves up this season.
Koeman's certainly made a difference, hasn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Let's talk about, let's talk about where you guys play at the moment. So you don't ever play at Loftus Road. You've had some games at Loftus Road?
A couple of years ago, they had a cup game at Loftus Road, which was really good for the squad. But no, we play at Uxbridge FC. It's a really nice ground, actually. It's got a stadium either side. So it's nice. It's nice to play in a stadium, isn't it, really?
And even there's 2 budgies in the clubhouse as well.
Yeah, they have pet budgies.
That's why you go there,
yeah. It's brilliant.
Another reason why Lauren came.
Yeah,
budgies and you.
Budgies.
Literally, who needs money and food from John Terry when you can get budgies and you?
Exactly.
Now, we have heard that Chelsea ladies actually have recently, I think they were going to have their first game at the stadium. So is that something that you'd like to do more? Is that something that you would like to see in the future, is QPR ladies playing at Loftus Road more?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like a lot of people they expect the women's teams to play in the men's stadiums, and it's unrealistic. Like, we're not going to be able to do that, especially if there's fixtures, congestion and stuff like that. And also, we're not going to fill out 30,000 people. It would be nice to.
Let's be honest, QPR are struggling with that at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it would be nice to play in the men's, to have a bit more of a level field, but that's.
But that's still growing, right? There is still a lot of time for that. I mean, in America, obviously, women's football is absolutely huge, but in the UK, it is growing and growing, and the success of the national team is really making a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even with them playing at Wembley as well, like when we had the Olympics in London, GB playing at Wembley against Brazil, they filled the stadium. It was insane. Like, the atmosphere was incredible. It was better than some men's games, I'd say, because it's very more family orientated. Like, there's no fighting. It's
what
authentic.
we like to say on FANTV is that the women's game has less fannying around than the men's game.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's definitely true. But it's just a better atmosphere. Yeah.
I agree with the sort of family oriented sort of feel. Like, they definitely have that. You get a lot of kids and like enjoying it, which is good.
Fantastic. Okay, well, we'll pick back up on this in a minute, but Raj, I hope he's semi-sober. He's just watched the Liverpool game. So, Raj, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Okay, talk me through the game. Were you at the game or were you watching it in the pub?
I was watching it in the pub before, so it was a good game actually, but we were quite lucky. Like Swansea, they really dominated the first half. They basically, what they did was they bypassed our press with their short passes, like Britton and Leroy Fer are really troubling us. And then they were pumping it long as well. We couldn't really use our pressing game against them, so they used the right tactics, to be honest.
Okay, Milner taking your penalty. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Milner, he's on fire with his penalties, isn't he? I had every confidence that he'd bury it. There was only really a 10-minute period in that second half where we actually played well. It was between 50 and 60 minutes. Swansea just couldn't cope with us. and that's when we got our first goal. And then we were a bit lucky with that penalty decision. I think it was touch and go, but probably was a penalty. But yeah, we'll take that result every day of the week.
Now, obviously very happy at the moment as a Liverpool fan. Klopp is certainly enjoying his time there. He said that he plans to retire in the next 10 years and is happy to retire at Anfield. Are you happy with him for the next 10 years?
Oh yeah, definitely. Great news if he stayed here for 10 years. There were some other. There was a rumour earlier in the week.
Yeah, I know
you love it. Yeah, that he was actually linked with Bayern Munich, but I think he's now shown his commitment to us, and I think he's really going to build a dynasty at Liverpool now. And it's a really exciting time for us. I mean, he said he had one transfer window really where he's actually done anything. So imagine what we'll be like in a few more. I think we could be a real force to be reckoned with.
I like this. Who needs the red tops when we've got Raj with all the latest news? Okay, talk to me about Liverpool's defence, because that is something that Liverpool have been struggling with. Obviously, Swansea, tested you still some. So what were the defence like today?
Yeah, we had the same old problems with set pieces again. The first goal was a set piece. Their player nodded it down to, and they just scored a really simple goal. Really, it was Nathaniel Klein got beaten in the air. He is quite a short player, but the problem is you shouldn't have a short player marking one of their taller players. There's got to be better organisation from the Liverpool coaching staff firstly, and then the players on the pitch have to take responsibility, and they've got to get the right marking measures in place. We're not. The problem is we could be a title-winning team, but if we keep conceding simple goals like that, we're not going to win the title. Okay,
now your first goal came from Firmino, so tell me about that goal.
Yeah, well, it was a cross-in from Jordan Henderson, I think it was, and Firmino, he got a slight little glance on it, and he managed to head it into the corner. So, yeah, it was a well-taken goal by Firmino. He's in great form at the moment. Probably our most important player at the moment.
Who was your man of the match?
Man of the match, probably I'd have to give to, I think Jordan Henderson did very well actually at the base of midfield. He sweeped up at all the loose balls in midfield, and his passing was actually on form today. He was putting in a few long passes here and there, and they helped us set up a few attacks.
So Guidlin obviously was under pressure with Swansea. Was he going to make it through this game? Loads of people said if they lost that he wouldn't get through to the next game as manager of Swansea. Do you think he showed some strength there and he should keep his job?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of Guidlin, as contrary to everyone else. I actually think he's a good manager. Against Man City last week, they played very well. Until the Man City second goal, which was a penalty, they were doing very well. They were well in the game at 1-1. And then again today, they played very well for the majority of the match. It was just that 10-minute period between 50 and 60 minutes, as I say, where they didn't do so well. And I think we just had a bit too much quality for them in the final third. But yeah, I think he should be given another chance. I think it's very harsh to sack him at this early stage.
So what's next for Liverpool? Who have you got next?
Next, I think after the international break, we've got Manchester United, big game on the Monday Night Football. So it's going to be a great game, that one.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you, Raj. I'll let you get back to drinking. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much. See you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Now, obviously, Chelsea were tipped for a good season. They had a good start, haven't had the best in between. What do you make of Conte? Because there's already talk, as there always is, that if he doesn't make it, because there's a good few games run and then they've got Man United as well to play, and if he doesn't win that, lots of people are saying Conte's out. So what do you make of that?
I think people are too quick
ridiculous, yeah.
to say that he should be out or in. A manager's got to be given time to improve his players. Like, players' confidence from last season was so low under Mourinho that players need to be given time to sort of figure out what they need to do and things like that. And it's just, I think he's a great manager. I think he'll be really good for the club. I just think he needs to be given time, as does every manager. So I think I'm really looking forward to what the season brings, and it's definitely going to be a better season than last season. There's no doubt about that. I think we can't get any worse than what that was, really. So no, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, it's going to be a good season, I think.
Without John Terry, the defence does seem to fall apart. I mean, obviously they were planning on getting rid of John Terry. How crucial do you think he really is to the Chelsea team at the moment?
He is vital. Like, he is that backbone for the squad.
He's
really.
The organiser,
he is the organiser, and unfortunately without him we do struggle a little bit. But the players, they're big enough and they've played football for long enough to know what they need to do. Like, they're professional footballers. They need to learn that they can't rely on one person. So I think some of them need to buck up their ideas of the back four. It's just the back four at the moment, which we struggle with.
A lot of teams are struggling. We'll get on to how your friendship fared after last weekend's game.
I'm not going to bring up 3-0.
Listen, come on, Arsenal don't get to be that smug about that much.
I was going to say, how many wins have you had?
Details.
What?
Details.
Okay.
It has been a fantastic run for Arsenal at the moment. It was unexpected because Arsenal go up and down so quickly. You never know what's going to happen. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good for Arsenal.
Yeah. It's very stressful being an Arsenal fan. I have to be honest. Incredibly stressful. But yeah, we seem to be in a good bit of form. So.
And Arsenal ladies were cream of the top, weren't they? They were really, but they've actually lost a couple of games recently to Man City.
Yeah. So they dominated women's football for decades.
Yeah, years.
Yeah, absolutely decades. But I think that to reflect investment all over the WSL, I think other teams have just, they've recruited well. They've got, Man City have got basically the entire England team.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll pick back up in just a sec because our lovely Ollie is on Skype. Ollie, are you there? He's a Bournemouth fan. What's just happened?
As you come to me, we've just hit the crossbar. That's the third time we've hit the woodwork this game, so it's gutting.
Yeah, what's happening though? You're 2-2 against Watford, are you?
It's Watford 2, Bournemouth 2, 81 minutes in. I'm not sure what to make of it, if I'm honest with you. We've hit the bar 3 times. We've hit the post twice, the bar now. We just can't defend, to be honest with you. That's the 3 words to sum this game up. We can't defend.
Oh, Ollie, last week you were so happy and it's all gone to pot so quickly. Who have scored your goals then?
Well, it was a brilliant goal from Callum Wilson, his first against Watford, to get things going. It's basically Watford, I'm not sure who it was, I think it was Kapue, took down Jordan Ive. The Watford players were appealing for a free kick the other way, because he did drag him down as he went down. But Junior Stanislas played on, picked the ball up, just whipped it into the box, and Wilson nodded it in. To be honest with you, the keeper should have done better, but it's a decent goal for Callum. And then into the second half, I think it was 61 minutes, Josh King came on. Within 30 seconds of him coming on, he's put one in the back of the net. So Josh King and Callum Wilson, the usual two, to be honest.
Now, is Wiltshire on the pitch?
He's just come off for Dan Gosling, but Wiltshire was one of the players that hit the post. Literally straight from kick-off, he picked the ball up. Went straight off on the attack, went past 2 players and then curved one onto the upright. Sorry, so he was on the pitch, but I think he's just come off for Dan Gosling. So decent performance from him, but not the goal.
Still not managing to get 90 minutes out of him yet. Now, there's been lots of talk about Eddie Howe, obviously as England manager again. Would you be heartbroken if he went?
It would be the worst. It would be like losing a family member. It would be awful if he leaves, But I can't see him go anywhere. He said in the press this week that he sees loyalty as a player and a manager for a club to be key. So to be honest, I can't see him go anywhere, especially after what he said this week. But to be honest, if England come calling, it's the biggest you could get for a manager. To manage your country is all. Oh, sorry, I thought I just scored. I've got notifications on my phone. But it's the best they could get. So, if England do come calling and do make an official interest on him, then he could go. But I'm hoping he doesn't. So, hoping.
Now, talk to me about Watford. What have they been like? Obviously, 2 goals. Deeney and Success scored both of those. Has their attack been a good run?
They've looked a decent team, not a great team. Then again, so have we. So they look a very, very similar side.
You are fairly
to
well
us.
Matched.
We are, and a couple of weeks ago when I was on the sofa, you guys said it was the furthest away derby in the league, and it does look like a bit of a derby. Players are flying into tackles, especially the way that this game's gone. It's not been a classic Premier League game, yet we've got 4 goals. It's end to end. It's a weird one to watch, really. But the Watford players have really been going for it. They've been flying into tackles. They've been really pressing the Bournemouth team well, and the attack hasn't been brilliant. But then neither has ours. We've had 2 shots on target so far. Scored both of them. The rest of it the post. So. It's difficult, really, to explain.
Thank you, Ollie, for joining us. Will you catch up with us when you get to full time? You've got around about 10-15 minutes left on that game, so we'll come back to you a little bit later on if that's all right. So, Chelsea and Arsenal, obviously the game last week. Now, Arsenal hadn't won at Chelsea in let's say, frickin' ages. It was an unexpected win, but there was no Mourinho to scare Wenger. It was a good time for Arsenal.
It was a good time for him. Yeah. I'm still reeling from it, to be honest. I can't believe it happened. Not that I'm surprised, but I'm very surprised.
Well, everything's a surprise with as an Arsenal fan, isn't it? Everything comes as you can't take anything for granted.
No, especially not silverware, that's for sure.
It's all right.
Upsetting, yeah.
Well, you see, because the thing is, Chelsea always used to mock Arsenal, but they've got no basis to mock anymore.
We can't anymore.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
I know. What did you make of last week's game? Because
It was so poor.
it really, that's the thing. Yes, it was good from Arsenal, but from Chelsea, it was very poor.
It was poor. There was just no work ethic from anyone, and that's the first thing. If the team's not playing well individually, you've got to make sure you're working 110%. Everyone's got to do their own part, and it just seemed like half the squad didn't want to be there, which is just frustrating, especially with not having Terry as well. Like I said earlier, it's that backbone again. It's just that we lost. So it's just poor from everyone's perspective, really, on that game. They just weren't working.
Now, Conte obviously needs time with the team, and that's something that he very definitely hasn't had. But do you think he will be allowed it? Because Abramovich does have a happy knack of firing people quick, sharpish.
Yeah, I wish he didn't. I wish he didn't. I really hope that he does see that light that Conte gives the squad, because he really does. Like, you saw it at the beginning of the season where the players just seemed to be comfortable under him and were less nervous when going on the pitch. And I just think, I really hope he gives him time. I really do, really do.
Now, he is pretty much a magician when it comes to certain things. I mean, he's made a few odd things like substitutions. What did you make of the 3 late substitutions with only 8 minutes to go? I mean, I think he's actually had the least players in a team, so they've only used 17 of their players. So I think he's very definitely trying to form a very definite team. But what did you make of those 3 late substitutions?
I mean, I think if you're going to make 3 in a bulk, you need to do them 60 minutes, 70 minutes, not that late on in the game, because that's such a short time for players to come on, get in the flow of game and make an impact. So I personally would have done 8 minutes. I think it should have been sooner.
It was a bit of a curious move.
It was definitely.
Okay, now Costa, he has been booked last 4 times in 6 games. There is no question he is incredible, but he also is trouble out there. As players, you like his style, don't you? I can tell by your face.
When people always ask me, like, oh, what kind of footballer do you think you are? I'm like, oh yeah, Diego Costa, as a joke, obviously.
The aggressive one.
Yeah, the scary one. Yeah.
No, yeah.
He's a bit of a liability, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a live wire, definitely. Sometimes you need that, though. It's that passion.
He's passionate,
he
yeah.
definitely is passionate. You can't say that he's not.
He's just a bit of an idiot as well.
Yeah. He doesn't really
give
know
him
when
a
to
lollipop
stop.
and tell him to be quiet.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Daily treatment.
Conte, I've got a plan for you. Give him a lollipop.
Chubba chubs at half time.
Other lollipops not available. Now, do you have anyone in the QPR ladies team that's, like a Costa apart from you? Or are you that person?
No, I'm not. No, not at all.
We do have a couple of players.
Yeah.
But they also are very passionate about the game.
Yeah. No one's on Diego Costa level.
No, I think he's to the extreme.
Yeah.
Okay,
no
so
one.
whistle's just gone. Chelsea have won that 2-0.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a sad day when Chelsea get excited about beating Hull, isn't it?
I know, it's pathetic. I know. I mean, we should be beating them anyway. No, we shouldn't get excited over it, but unfortunately that's what it's come to nowadays. So.
Now, Conte said that he doesn't want to look ahead to the transfer window in January, and I get the feeling he's been told there's no money. Do you think anybody else not no money, because obviously there's money, but there's no money to be spending. Do you think there is anybody else that should be brought into the Chelsea squad to bolster it? I mean, you've got literally the biggest squad in the world, but...
Yeah. I think I'm still waiting for Zuma to come back fully fit, because I feel like when he comes back, it's going to be like a new signing. Because before he'd done his injury, he was so good. So I personally, I don't think we should bring anyone in. I just think that Ivanovic shouldn't be playing at the moment. I think Ola Aina should be playing at fullback, because Ola's young, but he's a very good player, and he showed that he's been very good in pre-season. He played, I think, nearly all the pre-season games. So I think he should be playing instead of Ivanovic, really. But I think the squad's good enough for us not to bring too many players in. Players just need to step up their game, I think. I think that's all they need to do.
I mean, Conte definitely said that they sort of lacked passion. You know, they really, like you said, didn't turn up. But we don't see it that often. But Arsenal are turning up in full effect at the moment. What are you making of their string of performances?
Amazing. Like some of the combination plays that when Arsenal play well and they do the combination plays well, it's beautiful. Like, it's so nice to watch. But sometimes they get criticised for having that approach, because it doesn't always end up with the final product. And one player I'm really impressed with is Theo Walcott, because he's actually getting the goals in the back of the ball in the back of the net.
This had to be his year. If he didn't start doing that, there was no hope for him. But
yeah, he's taken it like by the scruff of the neck, like, definitely. So he's been really impressive, because I think sometimes he needs to be a bit more selfish. I guess a little bit like Raheem Sterling as well, because he's sometimes a bit of an unselfish player. Like, he's passing it when he could be having a shot on goal. I think Theo's sort of taken a bit more of that sort of attitude, and it's paying off for him. So, and what we need is we need goals. So.